Hi, my name is Mark and welcome to my channel, The Media Nerd. In this video, I want to go over the 3 different ways to clean a VCR. The one in the middle and the one to my right are 2 Sonys and they are identical, and the one to the left is a JVC VCR. The components inside are very similar to the ones on the Sony. Now what I want to do is manually clean this VCR using these products, the Audio 56 THC2 and the Audio 56 PRC-2. Now, I do realize while making this video, these are hard to come by. So if you can't find them, I recommend using 100% rubbing alcohol to clean your VCRs. Now, I'm also going to use this little chamois swab, and this is a PEC 2 pad that I'm going to clean the different components. The one in the middle, this is by Arsvita, and this is a dry auto head cleaner. Now it can be run up to 30 times, and that is about it. So what I want to do is once I'm done running it for about 30 seconds to a minute, is I'm going to rewind it and see if there's any dirt on the cleaning tape that's in it. Now this is a very similar product by Arsvita, but this is a wet cleaner. So you actually have to put a few little drops of fluid in it, and just like the dry head cleaner, it can run up to 30 times, and you have to run it for about 30 seconds to a minute, but then you have to wait about a minute for everything to dry out. In the video description, I do have links to be able to purchase these 2 products. They're only about $10 each on Amazon. And remember, if you do make a purchase, you will be helping my channel, and I thank you very much. So let's get going. The first thing I want to do before I start cleaning everything is give everything just a little spray off with this air compressor can, just to get any dust out of the mechanisms. Let's start off with cleaning the Sony VCR with the Audio 56. I'm going to first start with the head, and I'm just going to slowly spin it and make sure that I go over top of the little holes that are on the head, which actually read the VCR tape. I'm being very careful not to touch any of the circuits, and yes, I do have this VCR unplugged. That is really dirty, the head right there. I'm going to keep going on the other side. Now, I've been busted in the past for using Q-tips while doing this because they say that the little Q-tip fibers can get caught in the holes and mess things up. So I've changed my ways and I'm using this swab. Okay, let's flip it over and use the other side. Let's get some more fluid in there. And let's start going over the other little mechanisms in here, the plastic, the metal rods. Some of them call them pinch holders or pinch rods or pinch reels. I like to call them little metal doodaddy things, spinny things. I only say that just to drive the people crazy that are professional that are watching this video and like to bust me on not using the correct terminology. But since most of us are laymen's to this, it really doesn't make a difference what they're called. You just want to make sure that you're covering all the different areas that the tape may hit. Now I need to get one more swab because I want to use the PRC-2 for the rubber parts as well. Now with this pink stuff, you do have to shake it before you use it. Now I want to go over this rubber pinch roller. What happens with using rubbing alcohol with the plastic parts and the rubber parts, it will eventually dry it out. You don't want these parts to get dried out. It's not too bad, it's not very dirty. It's plastic. People are also gonna say, you're using your finger and you're getting oil. Finger oil. There are two other little components I want to wipe off, and I'm going to go back to the THC2. I'm going to get my PEC 2 pad wet. And I want to give this a little rub right here. And that looks pretty good. You can also go over and give everything a little wipe down. Like that. And it doesn't hurt to go over this one more time with the PEC pad. You can definitely see that there is dirt left over even when I use the swab. Here's the swab again. It's really dirty, especially on this side. Okay, great. Now what you want to do is once you're done cleaning like this, you want to let it dry for about a minute or two before you put a tape in it. So let's move on to VCR number 2 with the dry cleaner. Here's VCR 2. This is the Sony. I'm going to give it a spray off. Okay, let's open this up. Comes with a little pad that you can clean your front off, but it's not intended to be used within it. Now, obviously, I do have this VCR on. Let's get it powered up. And we just put this in. It's at the very beginning. It's never been used. And let's hit play. And wait about 30 seconds. Now you can see this dry tape is covering all the components that I cleaned off manually. So it looks like it's doing its job. It's even hitting the pinch roller, so it's going right around just exactly where a VCR tape is going to go, the path. It's at 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, I think it's done. It got to the end already. Let's hit stop. So it's really short. I don't even think it went for a minute. Let's eject it out. So I don't see any kind of dirt or filth that came off of it. It is dry, so it didn't have any liquid to be able to get into the grooves to really clean it. That's interesting. Let's take a clean end of the swab just to see what happens. I'm just gonna run it over the head if any more dirt's gonna come off. I have to be careful I didn't unplug it. Hopefully I won't electrocute myself. I really make sure I go over these holes. Be interesting to see if there's going to be any dirt on this swab. It's called a chamois. And I will have this product in the video description to Amazon where you can buy it. Look, it got dirty. So dirt did come off after I used the dry cleaner. It's interesting. Okay, let's move on to the JVC, which is going to be the wet cleaner. Okay, like the first two, I'm gonna take the spray, I'm gonna get any dust particles out. So here's the tape cleaner. It's got to be just like rubbing alcohol. And it says it takes about 3 to 5 drops. And before you use it, you have to take a paper clip and you have to pierce the nozzle so the liquid comes out. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So just like the dry, it just popped out. That's interesting. Let's hit play. So it's not playing. I have my remote. Let's hit play. Well, that's disappointing. Tape looks okay. I'm not having high hopes with the wet one. Let's rewind. Okay, let's hit play. I rewound it, so maybe that was an issue. It's playing now, so maybe we just need to rewound. That's weird. So it is running through exactly where the tape would go through, hitting all the heads and the pinch rollers. It's done. Let's rewind it. Now it's stuck. Okay, it's rewinding. Let's hit play just to get it advanced a little bit. It's not stopping. Okay. Let's see if there's any dirt. I don't see any dirt on it. Let's go back and let's clean it with this Schwab here and use the clean side and see what happens if this actually even did what it was supposed to do. Just cleaning the head. I'm just going to clean the head. Hitting all the little holes where the sensors are that reads the tape. Look at how much dirt came off. After using the wet auto cleaner. Look at all that dirt that came off it. That's amazing. Okay, so I went through and I cleaned each VCR manually on the Sony using the dry cleaner on the one in the middle and using the wet cleaner on the one to the left. I gotta tell you, I am not impressed with this Arsvita head cleaner. Now, if you want to give it a shot yourself, I do have a link to Amazon where you can purchase both of these products for about 10 bucks. I do have a link to these little chamois Schwabs here. And what I do recommend that if you do decide to use these, hold on to the case since it said 30 times. I just do a check mark. on it. So every time you go to use it, put a check mark so you can keep count of how many times you use these products. But as you saw, I went through, I used them. The wet one jammed a few times. You know, I'm not sure if it was just the JVC, but this JVC works great on all my VHS tape transfers. So I have a hard time believing that it was the VCR and not this cleaning product. And remember, afterwards, I cleaned them all manually and I got dirt on the swabs. So I recommend that if you have to clean your VCRs, just do it manually. You know, using, if you can find the Audio 456 or just some 100% rubbing alcohol. Now with the rubbing alcohol, you're not going to ruin the pinch rollers, the rubber and the plastic. If you just do it a couple of times, it's not going to dry it out and affect it much. But it will over a long period of time of constant cleaning with rubbing alcohol. So that is my review. Manually clean your VCRs. That is my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, like, and ring that bell for future notifications. You have yourself a wonderful day.